Child, I thought I added my hello. Can y'all hear me? Hi, hello, welcome. Child, I thought I added myself to the stream. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna just be right there when the intro come down. That wasn't the case. A mess. Hi, hello, welcome to the channel. It's me, Nikki. This is Ranting with Ricardo. We are here for another recap review. Okay, you can hear me. Hey Nola. Hey. Chat, I would be on camera, but ugh, it's SISTAS. I don't really need to do too much for them. This is like the season finale. It wasn't given much, and they not coming back till October. So guess what? I'm gonna have to figure something out to fill up a Wednesday. But you know what? I do have before the season. Before the season is a thing I do over here before the premiere. Is something I'm gonna be doing for the movies, talking about trailers of movies that's supposed to be coming out. So yes, they're not coming back till October. It's only August, so they're gonna be gone for a few months. So y'all, since this is gonna be down, I'm gonna be doing before the season, before the premiere, because I know there's a lot of new shows coming out. There's a lot of movies coming out. So before the season, before the premiere, I'm currently working on a podcast that I will share over here, but it will be going live on my other channel with like my regular name, like my government name. Just want to say that. Um, what else is there? So when I drop that, y'all go. Well, not even like my name. It'll be on the channel the RWR way. That's like my backup channel to Ranting with Ricardo. So for the people who are here or catch us on the playback, y'all go subscribe to that channel because that's where the podcast. I'm gonna put the podcast over there. Um, what else is happening? Well, I have a channel that houses like my I have two other channels. I have the RWR way, which is like the backup to this, and then I have like the regular channel with my government name that has like my demo reel for like production and all that stuff over there too. So yeah, I got like three channels that I actually use for um to do stuff over there. But that's where when I get the podcast up and running, that's where I'll be doing the lives. For the podcast, that's where I'm going to leave it over there. I may drop snippets. I'll drop snippets of the podcast over here and everything, and then checking out over across all the social media. That listen, y'all, business, social media, merch, lip gloss. You want to bless me with something because I got bills. Everything can be found in the description box down below. And I'm gonna start linking the other stuff down below as well, and you can catch it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. My daughter got me locked into Stars. Shout out to little cousin. Finally, you can be watching at 11 o'clock with the rest of us. Okay? Thank you, Jesus. So, boom, podcast coming soon. As soon as I work out all the kinks and everything I want to say on there and figure out who, if I want to do like me for the first couple episodes, bring some people up. The gist of the podcast is representation in different areas, in different fields. So I love comic books and I love characters, but sometimes people be like, well, I don't see a comic book character who looks like me, or that there aren't many black comic book characters, and there are, you just don't see because they're not as prominent. So talking about them, talking about black inventors, because I have found out like maybe 3 years ago that a black man created the super soaker. I didn't know that. I don't know if anybody else knew that, but I didn't know that. So you don't really get to hear about a lot of these people. I have a friend, she's in fashion and marketing. She'll be a guest on the podcast to talk about different black people who are in the fashion field and in marketing. So just talking about different stuff like that. So representation in all the fields, because there are so many black people that are in different fields that we don't either talk about, we didn't know, we don't get to see, and then we learn about years later. So that is the gist of the podcast. Before the season, before the premiere, That is a consistent thing that will happen on the channel because there's many shows and many movies coming out that you may want to watch, or if I talk about it, you may want to go see. Um, y'all know Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and Miami. That's a constant on a Monday. A lot of these shows are ending soon, or ending and won't be back for a minute. I know P Valley comes on to, like, the last episode comes on at 11 o'clock on the Stars app, 8 o'clock for the rest of you folk, and I will be up here. I don't even have to do it at 2 no more. I don't even have to go live at 2. You say you get there at 11, you're gonna be at the Valley at 11, so I 1 o'clock, I can do it by 1, because taking notes and watching it is a whole thing. Maybe 1:45, maybe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm working out the kinks with the podcast and everything because I know I'm gonna do it. Um, and then all the Queen's Men, it'll be Tuesdays and Wednesdays to get the take care of the episodes I missed, just for the simple fact that I took a break. I was feeling burnout, and I don't want to like be burnt out and then I can't give y'all nothing. So that's coming Tuesdays. Uh, last week's episode will be on Wednesday, and the week before that I also missed will be on Tuesday, going back to back, taking care of them, because then they come on Thursday, and then I think I'll be able to do it on Thursday as well. So just taking care of that, and if I find any more shows that I want to recap, review, or any movies or anything that y'all want to hear me talk about, or I want to talk about, y'all just come see me, whether you hear live or catching it on the playback. Y'all know my birthday stream is set up, so y'all come celebrate my birthday with me. Thank you to the 200, and at this point, I think it's 256 people subscribed to me. You didn't have to do it, but you did. We are so close to 300. And let's be clear, even if I don't meet my objective to be monetized by my birthday, I will still keep going, because before the new year, it will happen. I'm speaking it to existence because my words have power before the new year. And with that being said, let's get into it, because it wasn't much. It was just a little, a little something around with you know sisters. Also feel low-key well, I do feel bad for Karen if the storyline is going the way I think it's going. So trying to scroll to the top of my notes, because then I'm trying to get out of here before 5:30, and if I get out of here before it even makes it till 5:30, I might do a quick "Am I the A-hole?" because I haven't done that one in a minute. So we get back to sisters. The white lady wants Zach to, knock her walls down. And Zach ain't trying to do that. He in love. He got Fatima. He not finna cheat on Fatima, because Fatima will shoot him in the ass, and he knows this. Okay? She thought it was because of her looks. It's not. It's just he don't know you like that, lady. He don't want to have sex with you. None like that. Mind you, I got to take this show on the road because my auntie, mind you, I had to go to the family reunion. She told me I didn't have to go. Shout out to her. But I got to go unlock the back door, uh, just so she could come in, because she parked in the back now. The stairs and her knees, not not two equally yoked things. Anyway, and she desperate for it too. She think it's her looks, and it's just no. The man's in love. He don't want to have sex with you. It's a whole big thing. It's a whole big thing. She desperate for some dick. She was married to her husband, who's a senator, for 35 years. He decided to leave her for little young tender, because she mentioned that Zach is like young and he don't want to have, like, again, Zach don't want to have sex with her, but she mentioned that he's young. So I could deduce from the simple fact that her husband and her were married for 35 years. He didn't left her. He left her for some young. It's strange. And she basically tell him, if you don't have sex with me, I'm going to the SEC. And once again, I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all, it's insider trading if you use the stock tip, palm colored lady. It's insider trading if you use the stock tip. It's not insider trading if he used it, because he don't know you. He not related to you. You just told him a tip. He probably could have told somebody else to tip, and they could have taken it. He could have mentioned it in passing. It's not insider trading. She'd be like, well, if you don't have sex with me, I'm going to go to the SEC. And he says, you know what? Do what you got to do. I go to jail. I'm not afraid to go back. I'm not having sex with you. I would rather go to prison. He keep telling her no. He told her to stop drinking because she got a whole bottle of whiskey and half the bottle was gone. They do a whole lot of talking. You know how Tyler Perry writing is. Leave. I'm leaving. Well, leave. I'm going. Leave. Well, I said I was leaving. Don't you see me leaving? All this. So it's kind of like that. She like, here, take the key because you'll be back. He ends up taking the key and leaves, and he ends up calling Jake for some help. Now, y'all know Jake worked for Gary. Fatima don't trust Jake, especially since Gary and Hayden is friends. We're going to get to them. Ciao. So we get to Fatima and Andy. I skip over the whole Danny and Logan situation because at this point, Q, which was the gay for pay dude who robbed the bank last season because he was high off meth, is now living with Calvin and Maurice. The only reason why he living there is because Calvin fell for his sob story and let him live there. He snitched on somebody to get out of jail. The people he snitched on to get out of jail was Sabrina and Maurice because they think that Sabrina and Maurice robbed their own bank and set him up to do it. And he got Maurice on tape being sarcastic as ever, talking about him and Sabrina robbed the bank, which is not true. But Logan, the police officer who was down to the airport, who we thought was a sex ex-mex trafficker, which he's not. He's a cop. Child, he got the FBI. They going to arrest Maurice and Sabrina at the end of this episode. Boom, that's how the episode ends. Sabrina and Maurice get arrested, and Sabrina is like, "Does Danny know?" I'm like, "Yeah, Danny knows." Girl, shut up. All of this could have been avoided if Maurice didn't go home with the trade, and if Calvin wouldn't have let the trade live with them, and if the trade wasn't trying to set y'all up. This all could have been avoided. Yes, he told her, I would rather go to jail than have sex with you. Call him. Do what you got to do. No, I don't want to. Fatima and Andy talk in the office, and the gist of the conversation is Fatima loves Zach, and he's never had someone like her. He's never had someone to ride or die for him and to be there for him and just help him build his self up, confidence, and all that stuff. His mama was a trash person, so he has mommy issues, and Karen needs to stay the hell away from their house. Don't be popping up there with your white boots no more. And we don't know if the stripper baby is his, and if the baby is his, Fatima and Zach need to get custody of that child because that lady was drunk driving with that little child in the car. Now, Andy tells Fatima, her wanting Zach to be worth it isn't worth it. On top of that, she's heard everything Fatima has said before from Karen. And it's just like, well, you also have to think about this. Fatima is willing to stick it out with this man, and he's doing better. The Zach y'all knew back then is not the Zach y'all know now. He is actually truly honest with Fatima about stuff. If all the stuff him and Fatima have went through, if he was the Zach y'all knew in the past, he would have did Fatima like he did Karen, in a sense of going out, hunching on strippers, hunching on anybody, and bringing home STDs to her, running up her credits, stealing her money, and all that. He ain't doing that with Fatima. So he has changed. He is a different person. He needs to have better judgment. He needs to stop being so trustworthy of certain people. But he has better judgment. On top of that, old Zach would have slept with the old white lady in the hotel room, hoping she didn't call the SCC. But then knowing he got that good stuff, she would have been coming back. New Zach said, no. I don't want it. I'd rather go to jail. Do what you need to do. Call the people if you got to. I'll call them for you. I'm not sleeping with you. There's a difference. Y'all don't listen. I can tell when a person is trash. And Zach may have been trash in the past, but Zach is trying to be better. Okay? And we get back to Andy and her telling Fatima, he's not worth it. And, Fatima says he is. And then Andy compares him to a car. But Fatima is basically like, he's worth it. That's my man. I love him. He's a good man. He can be a great man if I keep, chiseling away at his hard exterior, get him into some therapy, and tell him to stop trusting people. He'll be a great man eventually, and he's gonna be my great man. You got me? And he says, well, then do everything you can because you have a good man, and a good man is hard to find. I should know. Yeah, because you was out there letting crazy ass Gary, I like the hug host to death, almost killed you, and possibly cracked a few ribs in your life and in your home. And he was watching you as Robin was knocking that thing out the park, okay? Robin was giving her back shots on the couch, and Gary was watching from his office. Mind you, if you watch Good Girls, Robin gives me Rio, and I'm just gonna say it. I love Rio and his energy, because when y'all talk about how men carry it down low, that's what Rio gives me. And Robin does too. Robin just a little bit taller, but I love them both. I'm like, girl, if you don't just get with Robin and get out of my face with this, you know Robin love you or like you or is in lust. I don't care, but Robin is the better option. Boss be damned at this point. She's like, you got a good man. I should know good men are hard to find. And you making him a great man is going to be long and hard. But Fatima is down for the job. Now, you don't know Robin, but you know Rio, and you know what I'm talking about with Rio. It's just like, child. In a moment, I was ready to become Elizabeth. Like, forget Elizabeth. Talk to me. I feel like a bird right now, but it's okay. Child, so they in the office, they see Hayden and Gary walking. Child, Hayden and Gary in there coming up with ways to sue Andy, because Gary done got his little feelings hurt because she don't want to be with him, and he had to admit to her that he bought the house, well, the penthouse, the car, the gifts, put everything in her name, because he thought that she would eventually let him back into her life and they would live happily ever after, even though it looked like he was trying to plan an unaliving for the both of them. So now he wants to sue her because he wants the penthouse back, even though she's going to give it to him. He wants the car back, even though she probably going to give that to him too. He wants the gifts back. You ain't getting that shit back. No, ma'am. And as they're running down all the things they're going to sue her for, it was like, Hayden going to say, well, you should sue her for pain and suffering. And Gary's like, yeah, I'm going to sue her for pain and suffering. First of all, you can't sue her for the house, or like you can't sue her for the penthouse or the car or the gifts. You gave all that to her and you put it in her name. You can't sue to get that shit back. You bought it. She didn't ask for it. Like, legitimately, here's the thing. Y'all think that y'all can sue somebody to get all this stuff back when she didn't ask for it. She didn't say, here's the money, go buy it for me, or I want it, go buy it for me, or anything like that. You can't sue her for something she didn't ask for. She took it from you, but let's be clear, it was a gift on top of the fact that you put it in her name, so it's her property at this point. Quit playing with us, Gary. And pain and suffering, you almost hugged her to death. You had her stuff taken away from her. Your ex-wife tried to shoot her and whoop her ass multiple times. The only person who has pain and suffering going on for them is Andy, and because she didn't fall in love with your crazy ass. But now that she know you crazy and put her in a fishbowl and was watching her as Robin was giving her back shots. But like I said, Robin gives Rio. So it's just like, no, you just can't be watching that type of man give nobody back shots on nothing, because you definitely gonna get your feelings hurt. I know the type of energy Robin has, and that's why he was able to go and he was able to snatch her right from up under you, okay? On top of the fact that you crazy and your ex-wife or wife or whoever she is to you at this point, I don't know, the show didn't tell us, tried to kill that girl and whoop her ass in the parking lot of her own job. Listen, Gary, Hayden, and I felt bad but Karen, all delusional, all need to get the hell out of my face. So Zach down to the house talking to Jake about the situation. Neither one of them knows what to do. And Jake, while he thinks Zach is ready for the SEC, if they have evidence, it's over for everybody. Now, as they talking, Fatima comes in and scares them because she like, who trying to have sex? Thank you. Snatched her soul. You know who I'm talking about. I said Robin is giving Rio, and Rio is the type to snatch your soul and have you ready to commit crimes for that man. So no, sir, you are never gonna get her back. I don't know what you thought. You are never gonna get her back. Chad and Robin gives Mr. Fix It. He helped get Fatima out of jail. He helped get Zach out of jail. He was about to take her to New York with him. He was ready to take her to New York, not New York. He wanted to take her to London, but she was playing and she was faking and booty shaking out here. And let's be clear, your faking and booty shaking only got you a penthouse and a car, but it's all in your name that he paid for. But guess what? I don't see how you're gonna sue her. So Fatima come in because she like, have sex with who? then scared Jake and Zach. And Zach, like Jake run out. He like, Fatima, you look good with the blue and green. He run out. He's scared. Now Zach runs down everything to Fatima because, like I said before, Zach and Fatima is not Zach and Karen. Karen and Zach lie to each other, cheat on each other, give each other STDs, talk bad about one another. Got one locked up because she thought he stole your money. Then we he give everything to you plus 10,000 extra, or it was like either 10,000 or $20,000 extra. It's a problem. And then you lying talking about the baby is his when at this point you only 4 weeks. They didn't know how they caught that. But let's be clear, that child could not be his. It could be Aaron's, and he didn't finish in that closet, okay? And then Fatima and Zach, we all see them. That's why they get their own show. Karen and Zach weren't gonna get no show. Wasn't no mm-mm. This ship name would be Zarin or Kak. And I don't like either of them. Zatima sounds so much better. So he run everything down to Fatima. He like, I'm not lying. I'm not gonna do it. Fatima don't trust Jake because he worked for Gary, and then stop telling him stuff. Tell me, okay? And then Fatima tells him, you know what? You say you're not gonna do it, but you're gonna do it. You're gonna have sex with that old lady. You're gonna knock her walls down. You're gonna beat that thing out the frame, and make sure you wrap it up because you got too many babies out here. But you gonna have sex with her. And he like, you serious? She's like, I'm so serious. You gonna do it too. I was like, she not serious. Don't do it. She gonna kill you. Don't do it. So we see Karen. She at the shop. Child. She getting real sick. She hot. She says some got a real strong scent. So it's just like, oh, morning sickness. You know, the regular. She says she gonna go home. Pam is like, okay, that's good. Go home. And then as she's getting like moving around, mind you, Karen is wearing white. Pam points out because she holds like the cape. Y'all know the cape down to the hairdressers that they put on you as they washing and doing your hair and everything. She holds the cape in front of her and says, Karen, you bleeding. So ugh, it looked like Karen might be having a miscarriage. And I would feel bad. I would feel terribly, terribly bad for the character if she has to go through that. Because you know she not, that's going to be a hard thing for her if she does. Now, here's what could happen. They could be like, oh, she was having twins and then she lost one of the twins. But they only saw one baby down to the sonogram when she had everything done. So it looked like Karen is having a miscarriage, and I feel bad for her. That's the last time we see her because her and Pam rush out. Now down to the airport, Preston lets Danny know, I'm going home for good. I'm not coming back to Atlanta. There's nothing left for me here. And the only reason why he stayed as long as he did was for Danny, but because she don't want him and is playing it off like she don't want him, he gonna go home because he a good old country boy. She's sad, but here's the thing, the lack of communication on her part when it comes to him and telling him what he did wrong. She never told him anything. So the fact that you didn't communicate it properly to him or communicate the things you wanted to communicate to him and needed to communicate to him so y'all could be a thriving, healthy, happy couple, you didn't do all that stuff. Now has this man on a plane about to go back home to wherever he is. He gonna meet a nice country girl. He gonna possibly fall in love and have a whole bunch of kids and live on the farm. And you're gonna be alone because you don't know how to communicate properly with people. Damn, Danny, you could talk to everybody else, but you couldn't talk to this man. He tells her, just tell me what I did wrong and I will change. And she still won't tell him because she's like, you act like I didn't tell you. And he's like, you didn't. That man sitting down there to the airport with his cowboy hat on his bag, begging you to tell him what he did wrong. Begging you, girl, begging you, and you still won't. And it's just like, you know what, Preston, leave her. I live at home, but you could come stay with me. You come live in my room with me. You look like you know how to fix a whole bunch of stuff. Come fix some stuff around here. He gives her a plastic rose. And I was like, oh, shit. Well, I've heard this before. Somebody like on Valentine's Day or just because to show you that they love you, give you a dozen roses. And in that dozen, one is fake. And they say, my love will die as soon as the last rose dies. However, their love won't die for you because the last rose is a fake rose. And he hands her a fake rose and tells her, basically, my love won't, just like this rose won't die, my love for you won't. And I was like, that is so sweet. Like, damn you, Danny. You could have. Yes, he could come live with me in my room. He is a handsome man. He could have came like Preston, the character. I don't know you in real life. You, from what I saw down to the TikTok, you got kids and you married. I don't want the real life. You don't want the character Preston. Preston could have came and lived with me in my room. Okay, he looked like he know how to fix stuff. Go fix stuff around here. Yeah. Okay, so they get dusty like they love, but it's just like he told her, my love for you, it won't die, just like this rose won't die. And she basically could have did, the Beauty and the Beast thing where the rose was in that little thing and it was covered up. And basically, when the last rose died, he was gonna stay a beast forever. But since the last rose won't die, you can be in love forever. Yay! Child, he give her the rose. He pick up his bag and him and his cowboy hat walk out her life. I don't know if it's forever, but it seemed like it. I was like, oh, not Preston. We actually left him. He wasn't crazy like Gary or a stalker like Hayden. What we gonna do now? Because I was hoping Jake, Zach, and Hayden, not Jake, Zach, and Hayden, Jake, Zach, and Preston would be a little trio. Now the trio then broke up. Damn you, Danny. Child, I already told y'all Sabrina and Maurice get arrested at the end of this episode. So we're gonna go to Zach and be done with it. And then if it's not 5:30 yet, I try to come back with at least 2 stories for Am I the A-hole. Zach, he really don't want to screw the love, screw this lady. So he drinking, he trying to big himself up, he trying to convince himself to sleep with her. And he says, you know what, I'd rather go to jail. I'd rather go to jail. Call the SEC. I would rather go to jail. Mind you, he had went back. He got the key because Fatima told him, you better go sleep with her. You better do it right. And you better wrap it up because you got too many kids. But in trying to big himself up or telling her to turn her head and everything, he like, you know what? I can't do it. Call the police. I can't do it. He go to leave. Fatima is at the door. Fatima comes in, regulating. She regulating everything. She tell the lady, you sitting up here blackmailing him like I could have got him up and everything ready to go for you. But listen, you sitting up here trying to blackmail my man and you're going through a divorce. She names off the lady, like the senator's divorce lawyer, and she like, I could go to him with all this stuff. I could tell your husband's lawyer, or you could play dumb and keep your mouth shut about this whole situation. Child, I had the hiccups and everything else. I could play dumb about this, like, here's what I could do, because you're sitting up here trying to blackmail him for sex or go to jail. And neither one of those things is going to happen. So what you're going to do is keep your mouth shut and play dumb, or I'll tell your husband. Because I'm not the type to whisper. I'm the type to hold a whole press conference and let the world know what you've been doing. So what you trying to do? And the lady is just like, I just wanted to have sex and my husband left me and no one has touched me in so long. And Fatima said, that's a personal problem to me. Sound like a personal problem to me. And I was like, sound like a PP to me. And that's a personal problem, okay? We don't deal with personal problems over here, Miss Girl. You trying to sleep with her man and blackmail him. We don't do that. I don't know where they do that at, but they don't do that here. No, ma'am. Stop. Zach is off limits. She told her that. And as they go to leave, the lady was like, are you going to tell? And she says, you know what? I won't say anything if you don't say anything. Basically, like, don't try this ever again. Keep your mouth shut and we won't have no problems. Now, what we going to see in October? Predictions. I think Karen may be having a miscarriage, or she may have been pregnant with twins and losing a twin if they want to make that, the storyline. I don't think that lawsuit with Hayden and Gary is going to go nowhere, because how are you going to sue somebody for pain and suffering when she's the one who's been through the most pain and she's been the one who suffered? It looked like Maurice and old girl with the bad, first lady, church lady clothes is possibly going to go to jail, because Logan the cop believed everything. And Andy, I hope you and Robin. I hope Robin give you more back shots on that couch in that fishbowl of a penthouse so Gary can see, so he can know that he is no longer needed or wanted. His services are no longer needed. Thank you. Hey, I'm about to head up out of here. this is it for this because they didn't give much on this episode. And then I don't know if we get Zatima before the sisters return or if we're gonna get Zatima and sisters at the same time. So who knows? But with that being said, that was it for this recap review. If you liked it, if you didn't, like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. All my information is down below and scrolling across the screen at the bottom. And I'll be right back for Am I the A-hole? Because I think I got time. I think I got time to do it. I got time. I'll see y'all later. Bye.